God, what?
That's just crazy with society, because I believe that obviously this is an individual choice, and the only person that should be speaking on it is the person who feels like they are who they are, and if they want to transition, that is their decision. But I do have experiences with friends who have gone through that, and they said that, oh, they don't feel any different after. They feel like they just cut their genitals off for no reason or added genitals for a reason, and it really just has to do with society, because you can be whatever gender you want as long as you think about it. Like, you don't actually have to have the parts. If you want to be a dude, go be a dude. It's all up to what you feel about yourself mentally, and I don't think that it's a mental illness. I think the repercussions and the way that society pushes on you to fit this cookie cutter blueprint of what is defined as a woman and a man is really the problem there, not mental illness.
Okay, let me ask you a follow-up question, Burnout, before we go on to the next one. Burnout, can a human become a dog?
God, what?
That's just crazy. Be for real. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but be for real.
Gender is a human construct. A dog and a human are completely two different things.
To answer that question, actually, think about furries.
Excuse me, this is Aiden speaking. Can I become black?
Absolutely not.
You guys are basically like changing the subject.
Gender and race is not interchangeable.
And your physical self are not human constructs. Gender is. You can't become black because black is a physical trait that is inherent to you, not gender.
Gender is physical, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Sex
is physical, but gender is not.
Wait, okay, so I have a question. I'm generally just asking. So the physical part of gender is a penis and a vagina, correct?
No, yes. That's sex.
No, actually, no. It's much more complicated and complex.
There's secondary sex characteristics. Like when you see a person on the street, you're not seeing their genitals, but you're seeing things that we associate with one gender expression or the other, like breasts and hair, and all those things are the ways that we identify people, because we're not seeing people's genitals.
Okay, I have a question. Wait, Isaac, you did just say yes when I asked that. Were you saying yes? Did you agree with me?
No, I was basically trying to say that's more complex than that. Like genitals are, you don't see people's genitals, just like Jasmine said. People identify like in passing. You see a woman, you see a man, but that's society speaking. That's not something that is physical. A woman is a very complex thing. A man is a very complex thing. Gender is different than sex. Now, somebody could be born a sex. That is physical. But gender itself, he, she, they, whatever, that is a human construct that has no basis with biology whatsoever.
No, let Nick, go ahead and elaborate off of if you believe in my argument, Nick, that if basically they're saying that they could just switch their gender, then I can become black. If you can, you can go off basically what you want to say, but they're basically just saying it's not a physical, gender's not physical.
Yeah, well, some days I feel black. I'm going to put on blackface. I'm going to curl my hair. I'm going to start talking like this. I'm going to start talking like a black person. I'm going to sag my pants and stuff, because it makes me feel comfortable in my body. I woke up, I felt black, and who is to tell me? It's my body. Society can't come and tell me what I'm going to do. Who are you to judge? And, maybe race is biological on some level, but race is also a social construct. I mean, what is black? Black people have brown skin. What is blackness? It's our conception of what blackness is. Who's to say I can't go out and modify my appearance to make myself more comfortable? You'd be okay with that? Halloween, I'm going out as Richard Pryor. Halloween, I'm going out as Barack Obama. I'm going out as Barack Hussein Obama with the birth certificate and everything. Point is, we can create arbitrary categories to separate them from biological reality. We could say, well, no, penis and vagina's sex, man and woman is gender. You're just creating an arbitrary category. We all know gender and sex are the same thing. Gender is an expression of sex. Male and female are biological categories. They want to introduce this other category. And then when it's indefensible, say, well, it's really just about what makes them comfortable. So are we debating whether people should be able to express themselves? Or are we debating, whether there are men and women? I think everybody knows there's men and women at this point.
If you wanna define
Burnout and Christine.
Please. Okay.
I just want to say, my parents, my mom was pregnant with me. I could not pop out as a white person or a black person or a Mexican person. That was decided when they are both Asian and they had sex.
Wait, you're Asian?
I am Asian.
Oh my
Okay.
I'm
God.
Vietnamese. Yes. And I want to say there are intersex people that exist. There are people that have both. And I want to say that where was I going? But yeah, that was the main point that I wanted to get off, like that you can like transracialism. That was from like Rachel Dolezal. There's like maybe 4 or 5 people that like really consider them transracial, and her family went out against her because she did not grow up around that area. She grew up with a white family, normal white family. That was what she was, and she decided that she wanted to be transracial, but that's not really a thing. That's throughout history. All throughout history, there have been trans people that have existed. So that's just a newer thing that people are using now. And same with like the being an animal. Like, yeah, like when my parents had sex and I was conceived, I can't come out as a dog. So that's what I have to say.
Wait, but I have a question. So, you know, the what is the name? The Jazz, the boobs, the person. She said that when we see someone walking down the street, we don't know that they have a penis and balls or they have a vagina. It's a secondary expression. Okay, I'll raise you one. Let's say I get my eyes surgically modified. I get my eyes sewn like this, and I'm walking down the street. And let's say I put like some fine black hair. I get like a mustache like this, and I say, hello, and somebody says, that guy's Asian. That's an Asian man. Are you going to say, well, you don't know, my parents are both white. My parents are both white. Race isn't essential. Race, you don't know that I'm Chinese just because my eyes look like this and I have a fine black Fu Manchu mustache and I'm wearing a straw hat. You don't know that. So again, it's like, we all know these. Once you start applying them to other categories, we all realize you actually can't change. Just like you can't change your race, which is essential. You can't change your species, which is essential. You can't change your gender, which is essential. But there's this argument, we're going to create another category. If you feel like a thing, you're the thing. Yeah, that only works if you make the thing a new category. I can stand in the garage. It doesn't make me a car. What if I say car? What is a car? A car is transportation. I could walk down the street and go like this. I'm a car. It's like you're imitating a car, but you're not a car. You're imitating a dog. You're not a dog. You're imitating a black person. Shit. You're not you can imitate a woman. You're not a woman. So it's imitation with word games in the middle.
Can I respond?
Christine, go ahead and then Burnout. Hold on, Christine, quickly, and then Burnout. Go ahead.
Because you said that being gay wasn't a choice, so I wonder how the difference is being trans is a choice, but being gay isn't a choice.
Well, it's a behavior. It's a predisposition to a behavior. So I think some people are predisposed to some things, some people are predisposed to other things, and that's unchangeable.
Burnout, go ahead.
If you feel like you can make something up, why is it that you can make something up and it be true, and if a thought that differs from what you think can't be true? Like, what makes you think that you're the right one? Like, you're saying everything that's so correct in the world when there's live proof that differs.
Well, that's the point of the debate. So we all disagree on the issue, and then we come together, and then we argue back and forth. And then people can determine what's more convincing, and then that's how we...
You don't have to mansplain what a debate is to me.
Mansplain. Well, you asked me. You said, "Well, but what do people disagree?" It's like, well,
that disrespects if you know that things are made up. You're saying that gender is made up. If that was the case, then we wouldn't even have man and woman. We would just call each other chromosome X and chromosome Y.
Like, point. It's true.
We were debating. Now we're agreeing. What's going on?
Here's because look, what we call male is the active. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things you call male, but it's the active partner that fertilizes the egg with the X and Y chromosome with the penis and balls. What transgender people are saying is, well, no, man is really there's two levels of man. There's the level of man which is a discrete reality, and then there's a level of man which we all imagine, and that's what we call man. And manness is different from being a man. And it's like, again, you can, again, a woman can imitate what a man is and then call herself a man, and we can say, well, the person that is a man and the person that's imitating a man are both men. But it doesn't change the fact that one is and one is imitating. There is one has a penis and one doesn't. One has the chromosomes and one doesn't. One was born one way, one was born another, and then undertook a self-conscious effort to imitate the other. So that, we can call it XY, we could call it male, we could call it man, we could call it all those things, but we're still describing the same reality. It's literally semantics.
What did you say, Isaac?
Yeah, can Jasmine talk? She's been raising her hand for a while.
Yeah, we'll go finish with Jasmine, and then we'll go on to the next.
Guys, we're gonna have to go to the next topic, but Jasmine, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm not arguing, and I don't know if other people on the panel are, that a cis woman and a transgender woman are the same. I don't think they're the same. But I think they would both be under the umbrella term of woman, because when a person has the secondary sex characteristics and you see them as a woman, to say that they are the same thing as a man just doesn't make sense. And the culture does matter. I'll even agree with you with race. I know people from so many parts of the world. My boyfriend was just in Africa, and over here, he's considered Black. Over there, he's too light, and he's considered I forgot what he said it is. But I'm Iranian. Some people consider me a person of color and some don't. The culture that you live in also affects the way people perceive you, and that is part of the story.
Great. Do you have any is there anything to respond to here, Nick, or we can go to the next subject?
Yeah, I just, the idea that what makes a woman is her biology. Taking the reproductive faculty from a woman is to take the womanness from her. Well, I mean, what's a woman without the fact that she is a biological woman? A mother has a vagina, uterus, and of course there are women that are born without those things. But I think everyone would agree that's one of those essential things. Having long hair, not necessarily essential. Wearing a dress, not necessarily essential. We'd all agree that what makes a man and a woman are those things. You can't put them under the umbrella because they dress like them. Just like, same thing with a car. If you have a red car in the garage, would you say that what makes a car is that it has a coat of red paint and windows, or that it has an engine? It's like the engine is what makes the car the car. It's a horseless carriage. That's what a car is. You take away that essential component, is no longer that thing. You could push rock in the garage, paint it red, put a piece of glass on it, put a radio in it. It wouldn't make it a car because it lacked. You say, well, they're both cars. They're on the umbrella of car. There's cars with engines, and then there's rocks that look like cars. It's like, but they're lacking those essential ingredients, and I think everyone knows that.
Great. Let's move on to the next subject. I want to ask Nick, can white people say the N-word?
Yes. Well, yeah, obviously they can. I say it all the time. So.
Great. I want to start. Isaac, you seem to disagree. Can white people say the N-word?
Anybody can do anything as long as it's not breaking the law. So from a literal sense, yes, white people can say the N-word, but I question the reasoning behind wanting to say that word. Is it to feel powerful, to take back control that was, that we took back from y'all because of that word? But all those scenarios aside, a white person can say the N-word, but I don't think it's right to say the N-word.
Burnout, do you have anything? Should white people be able to say the N-word?
Being that, in a sense, they kind of invented it, but the history behind it breeds a huge understanding as to why you shouldn't say it. I really don't understand why you would want to say it, other than to try to get a rise out of someone that it oppressed. So you can say it, but why? Why do you want to say it? Me personally, I don't think that you should. If you are really like a human being that wants to get over the hump of racism or wants to be progressive, I don't think that you should be doing that. You're contradicting yourself. But that's not true.
Christine, would it offend you if a white person said the N-word?
Listen, so there are people that'll say, oh, like my Black friends let me say the N-word, or I got a pass. Well, if you say that to the wrong crowd of people, you might get jumped, you might get killed, and things like that. So it's not, I mean, I get called ching chong, ling ling. It's not even on the same level though, because of like the history behind the word, and Black people have got to reclaim that word for themselves. I don't see why people having the desire to claim ching chong and ling ling for them. They just call Asian people that. So it's like, yeah, white people can say it, but it's like you might have Black friends that co-opt that and love that for you. But if you go to like the wrong area of town, or you go somewhere and you're willy-nilly saying it, you could get beat up, killed, all that stuff. And so that's on the white person.
Heaven, do you agree? Do you think that white people should fear being killed or murdered if they say the N-word?
Yes, I think they should.
Beat up,
Because
anything. Not that extent. I'm just saying. I think.
no, I'm definitely that extreme. I feel like they should fear that because it's a word that like everyone else has said on this panel right now. Like the history behind it. Why would you want to say a word that was created by your people to oppress another minority? I don't even know why somebody would want to say that. It's classless. And it's just not a good word.
Cheyenne, let me ask you, should white people fear getting beat up or murdered if they say the N-word?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you have an argument or just anything else to add?
No, I am going to add. Obviously, they're going to say it. But to say it to like any other minority that is Black, or just to say, oh, why do you want to say it? That's the reason. Because
Someone's
you
walking
using
too
that
slow
word
across the crosswalk. Someone cuts you off in traffic.
Yeah, but
Someone throws a bag of Fritos out the window on the highway. You're like,
that's not really a reason.
and it comes flying
No,
out.
I disagree. I disagree
right
that
out.
like white people should fear for their lives for saying that word. However, I do think a lot of white people, they think they could just say whatever they want and there will be no repercussions. Now, I'm not advocating for them to hurt or anything, but if you lose a sponsorship, if your friends distance themselves from you, if you get dropped from your job, that is just a natural reaction to you saying something that is not deemed appropriate in society. So yes, you can say that word, but be ready to face the consequences.
Yeah, I agree with him. I don't think anyone should be beat up for saying the word. I just think it's cringy. But actually, fighting words are not constitutionally protected by the First Amendment. Getting into a little lawyer talk, but Chaplinsky is the case. And back then, it was "you goddamn racketeer" was considered a fighting word, which meant that it was not protected speech. So there hasn't been any cases recently on this, but technically, fighting words are not protected speech. And I wonder if, in a context where someone uses that word, if it would fall under that doctrine. I don't agree with that doctrine. I don't think fighting words should be not protected personally, but that is what our laws are like right now.
Nick, before you respond, Jazz, do you think somebody could earn an N-word pass?
I just feel like, listen, I'm not for people not being able to say something or being able to say words based on their identities. I'm not for that. I just think it's cringy. Like, I've never seen a non-Black person, especially a white person or someone that talks like me, where that word like rolls off the tongue and doesn't sound just gross and cringy. So I mean, do I think anyone should get a pass? Not really. I just think people, if they want to use it, and the way you're perceived by society is on you.
Just because you can't do it. I think that when it comes to the N-word and other slurs, it's protected under free speech. Like, a lot of conservatives like to say that, oh, I have the free speech to do this. Yes, you do, but you also have, to face the consequences. So this isn't a matter of like, can white people say the N-word? Of course they can, but do you still want to say that word knowing that your business will suffer, your social reputation will take a nosedive? I don't think people should fear for their life for saying that, but if you want to say that word and consequences come to you, then that's just you made your bed, so now lie in it.
Go ahead, Christine.
That Lily Gaddis girl that gained 20,000 followers for saying the N-word on TikTok, and she's getting paid by all these outlets to do interviews. There are white people, yes, you will use the N-word and you will get loved by people on that side and welcomed into the right wing and the conservative side of Twitter. So that's why I think some people would want to do that, because they want to be edgy and they want to monetize off of that, because there are some people that agree with them and think that it's funny and that they'll do that. So
Now she's getting hate by the same people she was appealing to. So that never worked out for her
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. People
Yeah.
calling her Jewish and things like that, which
But go ahead. Continue showing yourselves. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Okay.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. It is sort of crazy because, this is a word that, let's just stop pretending. It is considered the same in any context. If someone utters the word, even if they mean no harm, even if it's not directed at a black person, even if it's not directed in a derogatory way, uttering the word, this is why we call it the N-word. We can't even, in the context of this conversation, and there's a proposition, should we say it, should we not say it? We're not even allowed to utter the syllables because we all know we don't want that clip to go around because we get canceled. The only, and people on the panel say if you say it, you should be struck down and killed or beat up, some, not all. And this is something a lot of people do believe. You see videos on the internet where it's like, oh, this guy said the N-word, then this guy hit him with a skateboard and knocked him out. That was awesome. He had it coming. The only other entity that I can think of where to this day people say should be killed if you offend them is God. Like that, if you commit blasphemy in certain cultures, they'll kill you. And that's on the same level today. In the same way that Christians won't say GD, they won't say that because it's blasphemy, it's a sin, you go to hell, you have to go to confession. It's like that today with the N-word, which like children, we have to, like the F word, I said the S word, we still have to say the N-word. And I think this speaks to the level of the whole country, as we all know, is walking around on eggshells not to offend the black people. We all know you can offend white people, Hispanics, you can offend Asians, you can heap discrimination and racism on Arabs, Muslims, even Jews on some level. But we all know black people, careful what you say, or else you'll be canceled. If you're not in good standing, if you don't have the stamp of approval, you'll get shouted down. And I think it's totally ridiculous. So I totally oppose it. I think that, look, it's a word, sticks and stones, break my bones, etc. People get called retard. People get called all kinds of other things. People can say things that are even meaner, that are more personal. But for some reason, blacks are this protected class. You can't say their special word. I think it's total joke. I think that if whites and blacks want to live together in harmony, there has to be a real mutual basis of equality. Nobody's ever said that there's things off limits you could say about white people. Jamie Foxx can go on SNL and say, I play Django, I get to kill a lot of white people, which is pretty awesome. You talk about killing white people on TV, that's fine. You utter the syllables of a slur, suddenly you're a racist? Like Michael, or what's his name, Kramer from Seinfeld? It's totally insane. It's got to go. And by the way, that's for the benefit, I think, of both people in the whole country, both peoples, blacks and whites. I think we should be able to say it. And it's funny.
I disagree.
I wanted to, real quick, guys, this is Aiden speaking. So it was my birthday a year ago. I was on stage with Chief Keef, and we were rapping together, Don't Like. I asked Chief Keef on stage with him, I said, can I say it? You sure? You sure? He says, yes. I ended up rapping the lyric, and I said the N-word. Do you guys think there's anything wrong with that?
I think, do you want to go, man? Go ahead.
Okay. That is a very messy way of thinking that, because it's in a song, it makes it okay. Everybody likes to ignore the history. That should be the first thing that should come to your mind when you think about the N-word and its origin. It's just not like a light word. We know that the N-word was made to oppress. Us taking the N-word back was us reclaiming our power. You were trying to say that you using the N-word is funny, is you taking a whole population and their history and the abuse that you put them through and you classify them as a joke. And then to sit there and be like, oh, it's going to breed equality if we can say it. No, it won't. What's going to breed equality is you listening to Black people, hearing their preference when it comes to something that oppresses them, that has painted their history for years because of the actions of others, and take into account and respect that. Because if we can respect, not to say cracker or offend any other race, why?
Well, Burnout, you just said it. But Burnout, real quick, if everyone wants equality, so shouldn't everyone be able to say any word they want? Because think about it, if you're diversity,
why are you trying to equate equality to saying words? and not basic human things like the right to food, the right to home. Like, you're trying to make something fit where it does not have any prevalence.
Okay.
All
Well,
because
like I
you
said, this
feel
isn't
like,
my debate,
oh,
but I just
know
had a question. I just had a question. I just had a question. If you guys in here thought it was wrong for me after getting permission 3 times to rap on stage with Chief Keef to his.
I mean, Keith doesn't speak for the entire community of Black people. I'm glad you got to say and you felt good, but he don't speak for me. I love Chief Keef, but he don't speak for me or anybody I know.
Okay, so
I
you
think
guys,
you're
I'm sorry, real quick. So you guys do have an issue if white people rap along lyrics to songs?
If we're constantly telling you the history behind this, and you know the history because it's from your ancestors, why do you want to say
Yes,
it so
but you
bad?
didn't go through that. You personally did not.
Look,
I'm
still
Jewish.
recovering from the repercussions.
Okay,
of
what about
that
the Holocaust and Jews? I'm just asking you a question. I didn't go through the Holocaust. I didn't personally go through the Holocaust. You
But
didn't
you can
personally go through
respect that the
slavery.
Holocaust was like really devastating to Jewish people, right?
Yes.
You can respect that. So why
Nick
can't you
doesn't
respect?
believe the Holocaust even happened, right?
Well, no, that was a whole different thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but Aiden,
But if you can
I feel like
respect
you're
that
drawing
a
a false
population
equivalence.
of people have been oppressed for so long and went through something so traumatic, why is it so hard for you to be like, oh,
Well, my question
okay,
is
they
this.
did too.
I
Just
think we
because
need
you
to be
want to say a word.
consistent. I'm not trying to speak for any. I'm Jewish, right? And you guys are Black. You guys went through slavery, went through the Holocaust, pretty much similar things. So listen,
No, I wouldn't say that, but go ahead.
I said similar. I said similar in many ways. Okay. So my question is this: if we want equality in the world, we shouldn't be able to be like, all right, this specific group of people cannot do this, but these people can. If you want everyone to be equal, we all got to be equal.
I'm not telling you, that's the thing. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm asking for respect. If I can respect your Jewish heritage and what you went through, why is it so hard for you to respect my heritage and what my people went through, even though I didn't go through it personally and you didn't go through the Holocaust personally? I can respect that and not say anti-Semitic things to you just because it's in a song. You don't hear people saying, oh, I can say cuck, I can say this, that, other because it's in a song. You don't hear that. That's you wanting that privilege because you want to be aligned with something that you're not aligned with.
It's a good point. So like, for example, if in the song they said like, you know, Hitler nigga, that's the nigga that I like. You know, you wouldn't like that if they said they liked Hitler in the song. They would hate that. I would also add, Italians never call them the N-word. We call them mullignans. That means eggplant. We call them mullignans. We call them shines because they shine. We didn't call them the N-word. And also, Italians were discriminated against too. Italians were lynched. People were racist against Italians. Italians never owned slaves. Italians got here in the 19th century. So you're telling me I oppressed people? I didn't oppress anybody.
Do you hear yourself though?
I didn't oppress anybody. What do you mean?
Subject. We're talking about Black people, and you're bringing up Italian people for what? For what?
You basically talk about us being triggered over words, but I feel like a lot of conservatives get triggered just as easily. If
like
we call
what?
you guys
deplorables.
I'm not talking specifically you, but I remember you guys boycotting people because they called Trump supporters deplorables, or you'll boycott another company because they said this thing, they said that. So I think that both people, like everyone has the free right under the Constitution to boycott and the free market take place whenever someone does something or says something that the country does not approve of. So I think it's very hypocritical that you're saying, oh, Black people don't let me say this, when you guys will be quick to boycott us if we said something y'all didn't like. That's literally just how society works, and there's nothing wrong about it.
Yeah, I'm just arguing people should be able to say it. I agree. I mean, people can react how they want, but I'd also
But you're saying, oh, but they're canceling us. Do you not think that people should be canceled for saying the N-word? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
Then you're against the free market then. So you're basically contradicting your point. That people should be able to say something.
I don't think there's anything morally wrong with saying a word. I think that if a person, and by the way, I'll just say, I think if a person has demonstrated that they hate another race, I think that's wrong. As a Catholic, I think that's wrong. But saying a word in any context, like Aiden said, you could say it as part of a song, and I may not be a little edgy, whatever, I make a joke about it, but saying a word in the context of a song is obviously harmless. You're singing the song, you say the words in a song. You like the artist, you say the word in the song. But, we've seen legitimately people get shut down because, on TikTok, when they do the lip syncing, they do this when they do the N-word. They say, when the N-word comes up, they do this. Because it's like even not even saying it, but lip syncing it as part of a song, people consider so immoral that they'll get contracts taken and everything like that. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with uttering a word, even if you might find it offensive. And, again, context is everything. If someone is using it in a super derogatory way because they hate black people or something like that, I think that is different than people that say it when they're discussing it, people that say it in a song. It is a term of endearment among the black people. Same is true of other slurs. Gay people call each other faggots. Women call each other bitches. I'm sure retards call each other retards or something. That's just society. What's really going on with the N-word is it's more about this social station that blacks occupy and you can sit there and say, well, I don't think they should be beat up. But, just like Chief Keef doesn't speak for all black people, you don't either. A lot of black people take that as a sign. I can kill, I can punch, I can maim somebody. I think that's wrong.
Heaven, I want to ask you a question, Isaac, before you go, to include more people. Heaven, you said earlier that people should expect to be beat up or murdered if they say the word. Is it the same repercussions if they say the soft A versus the hard R?
Me personally, I just feel like they shouldn't say it at all. I was raised a little different. As a black person, yeah, I can say it, but my family didn't let me say it. I really do feel like it's just classless and tasteless to say. I feel like if you want to say that word, like everybody else has said on the panel, just expect whatever that happen. My stance is still the same. I don't think anybody should say it.
But is it equal if Nick said the soft A versus the hard R? Is it the same level of offensive?
Yes.
Okay, Isaac, go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that I agree with the statement that people should be able to say whatever they want. What I have a problem with is that Nick Fuentes seems to be of the opinion that whenever they face consequences for saying something that's socially unacceptable, that's wrong. People practicing their free speech and boycotting or calling somebody out or, getting fired or, something bad happening to them that isn't against the law, that is perfectly fine. So you can say the N-word all you want, but do not be surprised when you face societal repercussion for that. That's just how the world works.
Burnout, can I ask you, is it the same level of offensive if a white person said the soft A versus the hard R?
I definitely take more offense to the hard R. But if you want to use the A, I'm just gonna look at you you're not a person I would deem of viable character. You're not really somebody I would respect just off of the strength of that. I wouldn't look at you twice. I wouldn't consider you as a person. I wouldn't really give you much. I just would be oh, and move on because it doesn't really deserve attention. When people who know the history behind it want to say it, still, even on that and in the proximity of Black people, it's either out of wanting to be down or wanting to get a rise. And in any type of situation, you're gonna get neither from me. I don't really care to integrate myself into that type of relationship with anyone, especially if we've spoken about it, if you know where I stand and you still choose to do it. So
okay, it sounds like any closing thoughts on this subject?
People are going to do what they want. Like I said, there's going to be people like Lily Gatus and stuff that are going to make platforms and money and off of it because they have that community of people that think that it's funny and edgy and that have the right to do so. Same with I do see the R word is going back. I see it all the time on TL. I don't agree with it. I don't like saying it, but it's something that is being normalized again. And I think that's just something that we're just going to keep seeing evolve in that aspect. There's going to be people that still aren't okay with it. There are going to be some people that think that it's okay. There's going to be some people that will think that they can give a pass, and it's just what it is.
Okay, I think we can move on to the next subject. Go ahead.
You want to ask Nick if there's?
No, I don't think Nick has. We pretty much hit this. Nick, do you have anything?
Yeah, no, I think we've kind of been over it.
Okay, we have one more. Well, we have one more subject. It's actually a great one. It's a two-parter. So I want everyone to go in order. Would you say you're happy in life right now? And then the second point of the question is, do you believe that depression is real?
Let's start with Nick.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm pretty content. I think that you know, you have to love life as it is. I don't believe in this when people say happy, they mean they want to feel good all the time. I think it's really more about loving life when it's, you know, whatever it gives you, whether it's temporary fleeting happiness or the other stuff. You have to love all of it. So I would say I'm happy. As far as depression is concerned, I definitely think it's real. The question is, how prevalent is it? I think that, you know, people say they're depressed. I think they have a lot of other problems. I think they're socially dislocated. I think maybe they're feeling grief, lonely. You know, I think a lot of things are called depression. It's kind of just become synonymous with like chronic negative emotion. But I don't know, you know, people treat it like a mental illness. I think it's real. Mental illness would say nothing's causing it. I think the grief and loneliness, chronic negative feelings that people have, especially now, I think there's a very real reason for it. And I think that, you know, if their lives were different, they wouldn't be depressed. Now, if depression were a real illness, that wouldn't be the case. And I think depression is real, but I think it's far more rare than it's diagnosed.
Who wants to respond first? Anyone?
I'll say.
I would say.
I'm happy. I think happiness is a choice, and I think gratitude has to do a lot with it. Depression is real, and I think it wasn't as common before things like social media or like the wealth gap and things of that nature. I don't think it was that prevalent, but I did think it existed. I think it's real, but it's more so a mental state because it's just feeling more so that you are hopeless, and that's a feeling, but some people get stuck in that feeling, and that's when depression develops. And I feel like maybe I want to say that it's solvable by just practicing gratitude, but that is more personal to me rather than I can't just apply that to everybody.
Isaac, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say I agree with Nick. I think I'm content. I do think a lot of people are chasing a fleeting sense of like spark, and whenever it dies down a little bit, they start to think, oh, like life is not worth it or anything. But I think you do need to appreciate even the little things about life. As for depression, I do think that depression is real, but it is like there are two sides to it. There's like environmental aspects where, you know, somebody loses their job, they're in a tough financial situation that could lead them to being depressed. And then there are a lot of other people who have everything going for them and they are depressed, but we don't know why. So, and I do believe that a lot of people get falsely diagnosed with depression. Sometimes it's temporary, like situational, and sometimes it's just sadness. But depression as a whole, it is real. But whether it's environmentally based or something that's inherent to that specific person, that's up for debate.
Do we have a point of contention? Everybody, Christine, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was on the same page as everyone. I do think that being content is more important because there are people that kind of seek more and more to be happy or need more and more to be happy, whether that's money or like they're seeking fame or whatever it is. But there are definitely people that have that it can be genetic, that people within their family have suffered through like psychiatric episodes or in several mental illnesses. And it is up to the individual, of course, to whether they self-medicate. But there's other people that cope with it, not through medication, but like by drinking or in unhealthy ways or by like going to the gym. People are like, just go to the gym, like you'll feel better. So.
I would say that, yeah, I agree with kind of the sentiment everyone has shared. I do think that depression does have a genetic and environmental component. We do know that people can have genetic predispositions to it, which proves that there is some type of genetic component to it. But I do think a lot of it is environmental. And when we're seeing rates rise really high like they are right now, it can very well be attributed to lack of community, lack of personal relationships. There's a really good book by Johan Hari called Lost Connections that really goes into this, being socioeconomically depressed or being not able to support yourself, not finding meaning in your job. All of these things can affect you getting depressed, right? And there's obviously an epigenetic component and all of that. So it's not super easy. So there's a lot of nuance to it. But yeah, I wouldn't make it a black and white thing, but I do think it obviously exists. Also, I have to go. So yeah, this started a little later, and I had plans that I can't cancel. So if I could exit gracefully, I'd appreciate it.
Likewise, I kind of have to go as well.
Great. Yeah, we're gonna ask for closing statements here. If anything, Nick, do you have a closing statement? Do you guys, have the same opinions, or did you learn anything? Closing thoughts.
Wait, we gotta hit Heaven and
Heaven and Cheyenne. Do you have anything? They've been pretty quiet.
Yeah, I was.
You said goodbye.
Okay.
Guys, I'm aware. Hold on a second. Everyone,
Okay.
we're gonna basically we're just gonna say final words to close this thing off. I appreciate everyone's time, and all you guys were awesome. If you guys just want to say like something that you guys have learned or something that you highly want to emphasize on your closing statement, go ahead. We'll start with you, Burnout. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for letting me express my thoughts. I respect everybody's disposition or their right to have the disposition because I don't agree with everything. And I don't know, just thank you for giving me a space to express thoughts that differ from what you usually speak on.
For sure. All right. Nick, do you have anything to say to her?
No. Well, I'll address the whole group, but yeah, thanks for joining the panel.
Thank you for having me. I hope you have a good night and think about what happened here.
You too.
Burnout, can you give Nick the N-word pass before you leave?
Absolutely fucking not.
Come on.
Isaac, can you give Nick one N-word pass?
Yeah, but I'm
before
gonna have
you
to
leave?
charge you.
Nope, you tried it.
Isaac, nothing, Cheyenne.
Next time.
Come
Maybe
again?
if you invite me back.
Heaven, do you give Nick the N-word pass?
No, I do not.
I know
He's
Isaac's going to give it to me. Isaac,
He's already
come on.
said
I won't say that.
I think he gave
The
I
most
would
you're
say
gonna
that.
get from me is a
I guess I'll have to say it illegally. No pass. I'm going in with no pass. Don't
You've
kill
done
me.
that before.
I mean, you
That's
already
true.
did it. You
Hasn't
don't
stopped
have
me
to.
yet.
He already said it. He don't need a pass. He
Yeah,
already
He
said it.
already said it. Like, what?
You asked for permission for it. You already did it.
But yeah, thank you for having us on. I think Nick, you're really good. You're really good at verbalizing your thoughts. I disagree with it, a lot, but I could see why you have such a large following. But I do think a lot of your arguments were weak. You lacked evidence, but you were good at saying it. So I'll give you that.
Thanks. Well, hey,
I
I
wanna
appreciate
say-
you being a good sport.
Thank you.
I was telling my sister about it. She was like, "Oh yeah, people like that should have a platform." But like you said, you already do have a platform. So yeah, I do appreciate that we were able to keep it respectful. I don't think it got too heated or anything like that. And yeah, we agree on some things. So like the pro-Palestine, and then also on the depression is real, and that gay is the biggest choice. So yeah, it was very interesting. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank
Also,
you.
Really fun.
thanks.
Okay.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you guys. All right, Nick.
No, I would like to say
Nick,
thank
hang
you.
out here real quick, Nick.
Okay. All right. So long, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Nick. We're gonna just put our camera on 1 second.
Sweet.
Chat, who won
Nice.
that, chat? Who won, chat? Let me see you guys do a.
W or L.
It's
Were
pretty
the
clear.
feminists
I mean,
annihilated?
yeah, that was. We had to change some of the questions during the conversation because it was pretty clear that they didn't really know what they were talking about. So we made it more like juvenile and simple. I think starting off with Kamala Trump was not the right idea. So I tried to make it more comedic towards the end. They didn't really have much. Most of the time they just said, I feel like, and like, yeah, they should vote, but they didn't present any arguments. And even they got offended. There wasn't much going on from that. I was disappointed with the panel. How did you feel?
I thought it was fun. I mean, they were good sports about it, but I don't think, in fairness, I don't think they were debaters. Like Dean, even though he's crying and everything, and he's right up with me. Me and him are two N-word sayers. We're unpermitted N-word sayers. We're undocumented N-word users. At least he's like a debate bro. This is what he does. He's in his element. To his credit, these girls, they came, they shared their opinions, they shared their thoughts, and it's like Isaac said, I do this for a living. I express my opinion for a living. I think it was more casual for them, but I appreciated coming on. I thought it was a good conversation, and it's good to flesh out the topics. I think they represent what everybody thinks about the issues. I think in that way it was balanced. I represent kind of the opposite view. And I'm really not trying to score slam dunks and say, oh, well, I got you in my trap. I'm trying to get people think about a totally different way of thinking, in the sense that, you know, you could see so much of the talk is, well, everyone should vote. Everyone has rights. Women have rights. Everybody has these unexamined assumptions about how the world is and how it should be. And the job is less to say, oh, hey, Republicans are right, vote Republican. It's more about maybe we need to examine our fundamental assumptions about the world and, you know, these liberal views we all have about the world. So that's what I tried to do. I thought they were very fair. They were all good sports. None of them were personal. None of them got offended, to their credit. So I thought it was a good debate. I thought it was fun.
I think you were expecting that, and so was I. I was expecting it to get a little dirty. I think you started that way, like saying, like, oh, let's get a man on to fix the mic and all this. And then you realized that it was pretty, you know, that this was just a conversation and to get them thinking. That was the more important strategy. When did you realize to shift your debate strategy?
Well, you know, towards the end, it was kind of like, it was slowing down a little, so I was like, we gotta just get some content in there. It's so cheap, but it's like, I'll say the N-word. I know we're all expecting it. I know that's what everybody wants to see. I was like, I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do it again. I'll say it, and I'll throw, you know, the other guy in there. So I was like, yeah, we gotta do it for the content. It can't all just be like wholesome Chungus. You know, my turn to talk. We got, you know, we had to throw some. None of them took the bait. I'm a little disappointed. I threw out Molignan. I threw out Shine. I was thinking someone's going to take the bait. They were all pretty disciplined, to their credit.
I shifted the questions to get more debate, because in the beginning it was too rhetorical and just everybody speaking like a classroom. So I changed the questions to be more provocative, and none of them really got angry. I mean, at one point you said the word faggot, and the Asian girl just like, she closed her eyes and turned off her camera for a bit, but that was it. I mean, Isaac was the one. Isaac seemed like he was swinging a bit, but he seemed to agree with some of the stuff. Like where we see an overlap is a lot of the leftists agree with the pro-Palestine stuff. You're not really pro-Palestine, you're more anti-Israel, but there's not that much contention because they have to concede when it comes to Christianity, because they can see that your morality comes from Christianity. They don't want to argue that, and their morality is subjective. So it kind of just reached a point where there's not much to disagree about.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the women aren't, they're not like gladiators. When you do a debate, you need gladiators that are going to go in and, you know, freak out. And to my point about feminism, they were all so agreeable. It was hardly even contentious. It was civil, and it was barely contentious. They were just kind of expressing disagreement, but like you said, not really making like a confrontational argument. So it is what it was. The questions were good. The questions you were throwing up, these like curveballs or softballs, I should say, to kind of get it going, but they were too nice. So, and I'm too nice. Everybody expects it. I think it's also because I'm handsome. I'm handsome. I have Riz, and I come in, and you know, if I was like Charlie Kirk and I was like little human being, you know, maybe then it'd be easier for them to get angry. But when I come in, I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? They're like, we can't hate this guy. This is a nice guy. We don't, even when I'm saying the N-word, they're like, oh, stop. You're being bad. Don't say the N-word, you know? Like, yeah. So
Nick, I could just say, you know, you did great. I was a little underwhelmed as well. I thought that people were going to come with more shit. But Nick, I really do want to get you that girl. I want to try to convince her. I believe it was Noemi or something like that. You know, I offered her $20,000. She still said no. She's just thinking that it's not going to do good. There's not going to be good out of it. I'm like, look, come on and try to change people's opinions. If you're so confident that you can in some way change people's opinions that watch, come do it. And you get $20,000. So I'm really trying to get somebody like that on here. But, you know, also maybe even Parker or someone like that. I want to get you Parker's the guy feeding Dean information in his ear. I want to get you somebody. I want to get you somebody who actually can hold their own ground and at least come with something.
He doesn't know the lore. He brought up Destiny when our mics were muted, and I had to tell him about the Fresh and Fit debate and the whole lore and how many times, like, when you got unbanned on Twitter, the Twitter space, it's like it's been done. That debate's happened 100 times over the past couple of years, so we want something new. So open invite to challengers, and let's get it a little spicier next time.
I mean, Nick, I'm trying, man. A lot of people are running away, man. They don't want to fucking talk to you, bro.
I know. I've been trying I'm calling out the conservatives, too. None of them want to do it. So yeah, I hear you, man. It's that's my struggle, if you will. Sort of like my struggle. It's very difficult.
Everyone watching, it's true. We've hit up so many people. Nobody wants to talk to him. Nobody wants to do it. Everyone's running away. They're like, oh, well, I don't know about that one. I got to check with my manager. Like, it's like nobody wants to just do it. So that's why I do respect Dean, because at least he came on, and at least, you and I actually had a great debate, in my opinion. So I'm trying, man. And look, I'm going to keep trying, but we'll figure it out.
I want to see Nick against conservatives. Aiden was saying liberals, but Nick really wants to debate conservatives that.
If you give me three. Give me three conservatives.
Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Candace.
Tommy Robinson. Give me Tommy Robinson. He's been calling me out.
He's not going to do it. He ran from Dan Bilzerian. Dan Bilzerian's not even a debater. Like, this guy's...
I'll call him out anyway. But him, Andrew Clavin, I debate him. Dennis Prager, any of these guys. They don't want to do it.
Trying, man. It's tough. Yeah. It's very tough. It's tougher than it looks. I mean, you would think that people would be down, but it's just so hard because people they're not wanting to do it with you, man.
True. Tail off and I'm being sanctioned. They're boycotting, divesting, and sanctioning me. It's sort of hypocritical. It's a little hypocritical, but yeah, no, but it was fun. I mean, we just got to find we got to find the Clash of the Titans, the Royal Rumble. We need like the WrestleMania main event. We need the belt. We need the ring belt. We need ladders. You know, this was baby match. This was like a regular, I don't even know. It was like a WWE Divas match.
The Destiny one's been done, though. It has been
many times.
Million times, yeah.
All right. I would love to get you Hassan. He would never do it, though.
He did it 5 years ago.
I would debate Hassan.
Well, what'd you think about the Keith Daniel debate?
It was good. Yeah, that was a good debate. But, you know, Daniel represents kind of like a unique position. He's like a third worldist, like Muslim or something. But, yeah, I thought Keith handled that easily. Keith Woods, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough because I am super controversial, but I'd like to debate a conservative. So if there's any conservatives, like mid-level conservatives, independent enough to do it, I'd debate any of them.
Trying to get him, man. It's tough. It's really, really tough.
Well, what about the E-Date?
We could definitely do that. I'll get you some good girls. We'll get you some good girls to go on an E-Date with you. That'd be fun.
Not like that OnlyFans mud shark. I mean, what the hell was that? She had her boobs hanging out the whole time.
Were those hickeys or veins? I couldn't tell what those bruises were. If those were like milk coming out, if she had hickeys all over. But yeah, as soon as she started plugging the OF, I'm like, we should just kick her out. But
that was crazy. She brought
everybody loves you, Nick. You wouldn't believe how many texts I'm getting. I love this guy, Nick. Nick's great. This guy's fucking amazing. It's an honor, man, to really talk to you, man. I know, look, like I said, man, you and I, you know, people of my, you know, race, nationality might have issues with you, but I like you. I really do. I think you're a very solid guy. You're a very solid individual. I really agree with a lot of the stuff you say. And it's great. You know, Nick, thank you for, again, I'm glad that you and I can come together and, you know, make some cool, dope shit happen, bro. It's awesome.
Likewise, man. I love your stream. You're a good guy. You got a good heart. And I don't care what anybody says. You're one of the good ones. And it promotes mutual understanding. We're all American. That's what we want to promote. We love our country. We love God. We love each other. That's the message.
I see your Groypers. I like the Groypers, by the way. The AR Loyals and the Groypers like each other. They're kind of similar in many ways. But I see them, and they're saying, you know what, Aiden does seem good. And then somebody replies, always. They're like, just wait. Just wait. He's going to turn. I want to just clear by saying that not all Jews are bad. My brother Sneeko here is Jewish.
I'm not Jewish.
True.
You are.
By definition, I'm not Jewish.
I will never turn on you, Nick Fuentes.
I will never turn on you either. I appreciate you. You're good. It's what it's about. We got to be good people, you know? So no hate, no discrimination. It's all love. Love speech community, right?
Love speech, of course.
Well, look, Nick, I hope you have a great rest of your night. You let me know. Well, I'll coordinate with you when we want to do this E-Day, or again, if any conservatives, liberals, if anybody wants to challenge, come up and debate Nick. Let's do it. Everyone, come on, he's down to do anyone. You know, and the thing about Nick, I could vouch. Again, it could be like 1 hour before the debate. You're just ready to go. I really, that is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, bring it on, man. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Thanks for a fun night. Great stream. You guys are the goats of Kick. Kick.
Oh, yeah, Sneeko now, too, for sure. Thank you, Nick. Have a good night.
Wait, first, did you see what Eddie said about Nick, do you see what Eddie said about the last conversation? The CEO of Kick said something.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I appreciated him saying that. You know, I'm not trying to get you guys on trouble. Even in this debate tonight, I was trying to be respectful of the expectations on Kick. and trying to be appropriate. The thing is, as long as the rules are clear and articulated, I'm willing to follow any rules. The problem with social media, as always, is they don't even tell you what they ban for. It's totally convoluted. So, you know, I appreciate him, and I just want him to know I respect the platform. I'm not trying to be a punk and get everybody in trouble. I am who I am. I like to bring the content, but I'm trying to keep it respectful of the platform and not, you know, bring down the hammer on you guys, because you know how it is with cancel culture. So,
hey,
but I appreciated him saying that.
100%. Hey, chat, let's get Nick on Kick.
My first Kick stream coming up. Maybe.
Wait, really?
Yeah, maybe I'll do one. I got to get my username though. Could you get me my username and then I do one for sure?
100%. I'll get your username.
Sweet. Yeah, then I'll do it. I'll do a Kick stream. I'll stream here every night.
Wow. Holy shit. Okay, let me get you that name and let me get you that verification.
Sweet. All right, let's do it. Yeah, I'd love to come on Kick.
Sounds good, man. All right, we'll be in touch. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take it easy. All right, bye. All right. Well, there you have it. There's the big debate. What did you guys think? Did I win? One's in the chat if I totally won. Two's in the chat if I got crushed. If I got totally crushed on by the milkers. One, if I totally annihilated all feminists. They have all been utterly destroyed. There is no piece of them left. Two, if the crushed under the weight of the milkers. Flattened like a pancake, steamrolled by milkers, backed up on, and caved in by two giant jugs of milk. Thoughts? It's all ones. It's all, look, that wasn't even like a real debate. It was basically a conversation. I mean, they weren't even really disagreeing, and the arguments, I don't know. But, I mean, they're good people. They're nice people. It's hard for me to really go in for the kill because it's like, these are just regular liberals. These aren't like debaters. They're not activists. I'm not going to go for the jugular and, you know, cut their, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, those aren't arguments. It's overkill, you know? So I'm trying to just walk them through the thought process. Hey, this is how we view these things. Because, believe it or not, although, you know, again, these are not professional debaters, how they responded to those questions, as you know, is like how most people think. We talk about women having the right to vote. Most people have never even thought about it. They just say, well, everyone should have a right to vote. You know, we're here, everyone should have the right. And it's like, okay, well, it wasn't like that always. And, you know, why do we vote? Who should be voting? Where do we draw the lines? So I'm really trying to just I'm not really looking for like, you don't have the facts. Ha, you know, you sprung my trap. You look like an idiot. I'm more trying to walk people through. Let's reconsider some of these liberal assumptions. You know, even like with the gay adoption, it's like, well, if they want to adopt, they should be able to. It's like, okay, what about an alcoholic? Well, that's different. It's like, okay, but in principle, you understand how it's similar. So, you know, so it left a little bit to be desired. It wasn't hot. It wasn't spicy. It wasn't, no sparks were flying. And, you know, sometimes I question how helpful it is to even debate people that don't have a huge background, because then you're really just kind of doing the 101 thing. You know, but that's okay. So it was a fun debate. I thought it was good, but it wasn't the bloodbath. It was sort of just like a gentle execution, sort of like a gentle euthanasia, sort of like, we're going to make you comfortable. We're going to hold your hand, you know, and then we're going to inject the lethal injection argument. You know, we're going to put you up in hospice. All right. Hey, you comfortable? We're going to put flowers around you, make you feel good. Now it's time to go. You know, it wasn't like a total, like, brutal battle, people getting their throats slit, blood gushing out, people exploding, people's limbs flying everywhere, people getting thrown off of buildings, blowing up when they hit the floor, blowing up when they hit the cement, people getting shot in the head explodes. In terms of rhetoric, it wasn't like that at all. And that's kind of what I thought it was. I was thinking it's going to be like Dead Rising 2, dismemberment and gore is on, realistic gore is on, eyeballs being plucked, skinned face cut right off, face and scalp cut right off, clean cut, people getting cut in half vertically and then falling apart like that. I thought it was going to be like that. Sword, mostly blades, some high caliber projectiles. But it wasn't that. It was like a gentle execution. Gentle execution. It was the last meal. Here's your collard greens and chicken. Any last words? I didn't do nothing wrong. All right. Kronk, pull the lever. It was more like that. So I don't know if that is not as compelling. And I try to throw the bait out there. I'm trying to get him going. I'm like, well, Trump's not racist, but he should be. No reaction. I'm like, Hitler, nigga. No reaction. We call them mullignons and shines. No reaction. I don't even know. These are kids. They don't even know what that means, you know? So, but it's okay. But it was still fun. Hey, it was still a good debate. The highlights, we got to get the highlights up on X. Some good monologues, some good bits. I liked Isaac. Isaac is a good sport. See, that's a perfect example, a guy I totally disagree with, but he seems like a cool guy. I have no problem with him. Totally disagree, but respectful, understands it's a debate, you know. So I liked Isaac a lot. They were all fine. Christine was funny, cute. How did she get it? How did they know? They got my weakness, a cute Asian. They got a cute Asian on the panel to be totally fucking red-pilled. She goes up and she's like, well, I'm not voting for Kamala because fuck Israel. She was like Mogbar, the little Satan. I was like, okay, what's going on here? All right, I thought the E-date was next week. I'm sorry, I thought the E-date was the following week. Are you trying to be appealing to me or what? But anyway, so she was fun. The lawyer was funny. She goes, well, fighting words aren't legally protected. That's a little lawyer talk. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that. Oh, yes, that was super technical. I went right over everyone's head. Fighting words aren't covered by the first. It's a little legalese. Oh, yeah, super complex legalese. It went, stop with the jargon. Whoa, slow it down. I don't understand. Sheesh. And what's with the tits hanging out? Come on now. Put a fucking burqa on, dude. This is why we got to put all women in burqas. This is why we got to put y'all back in chains. Joe Biden style. They're irresponsible with it. It's why we got to put y'all back in chains. They show up to the debate with their boobs hanging out. And then she turns out to be my black boyfriend. Oh, surprise, surprise. Shocker of the night. Bombshell of the evening. Wait, what? The OnlyFans girl with the giant tits hanging out during the debate has a black boyfriend? What? I didn't know that. You're telling me for the first time. I didn't know that. You're telling me for the first time. I don't know what I said. You know, okay. Yeah, big shocker. It is what it is, right? It is what it is, but that's always how it goes, isn't it? They can have her, you know. They can have her. But anyway, so that was a good debate. Aiden Ross, can we get a W in the chat? 07s and a W in the chat for Aiden Ross. This is a good dude. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sure he's getting a lot of shit behind the scenes for having me on. Look, people like me. I'm a likable guy, but I'm super controversial for political reasons. He's getting a lot of shit for doing this, I'm sure. It takes a lot of integrity to say, you know what? I like him. Believe it or not, that's brave. I'm sure he's got a lot of people saying, you're Jewish, you can't like him. You're Jewish, you can't talk to him. And I get it. People say the same thing to me when I hang out with Sneeko because he's a Muslim, or when I hang out with whoever. So major W's, major props to Aiden Ross. Good dude. You know, we don't agree on everything. I think we agree on a lot, though. But I think what we agree on most is we're a couple of guys. We like the content. We like to talk. We like to increase understanding. I think he knows. We've known each other for a couple of years now. He knows I'm not a hateful guy. I know he's a decent guy. So major props to him. And by the way, major W to Sneeko. We got to give Sneeko some credit. Sneeko's been working on these people, you know? If it wasn't for Sneeko, Myron would still be calling me a fed. You know, me and Myron didn't get along for a while. Sneeko got me on Fresh and Fit. Sneeko, I think he's been putting in a good word with Aiden Ross. And that takes a lot of courage, too. He could have said, fuck this guy. You know, Nick Fuentes is nothing but trouble. But he's really stood by my side and been a really good friend. And, you know, I know a lot of people in my community give him shit. We don't agree on everything. But he's been a good friend and very supportive and honest in his dealings and loyal. He is Muslim. You can't fault him for that. He's searching for the truth. He's searching. We think he hasn't found it yet, but you know, God bless him that he's trying. You know, he's trying to be pious. He's trying to be a religious man. So God bless him. So this is we're getting friendship, a Jew, a Muslim, and a Catholic. We're all problematic. We're all canceled. People cancel Aiden. People cancel Sneeko. They cancel me. A Jew, a Muslim, and a Catholic walk into a live stream, and they are the best friends that they ever had. A Jew, a Muslim, and a Catholic walk into the live stream, and they laughed, and they had a great time, and they're all best friends because we all love America. We all love God, and we're trying to do the right thing. So God bless them. We love Aiden. We love Sneeko. Thank you for giving me the platform. We appreciate them putting the debate together. A lot of fun. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you sent super chats, I'm going to read them tomorrow. I've been live for like hours. I haven't eaten anything all day. I can't. If I read a super chat tonight, I'm going to commit suicide. Like, you don't understand. If I have to read super chats tonight, I'm going to kill myself. So I can't do that. I can't subject. This is my weekend. It's my day off. I did the debate. I'm not reading. You're going to make me go Dean Withers. I'm going to be on the stream. Hey, y'all, haven't eaten in 3 days. That's me. If you make me read super chats, I'm going Dean Withers. I'm going to shed a tear. Hey, y'all, my mental health is really fucked up right now. Everyone's super chatting me, calling me fat, talking about the Yankees. I'm going to shed a single tear, the tear of the goofy goober. So no super chats tonight. That's a joke about killing myself. I'm not suicidal. That's a joke. Clip that. Okay, they can't fake my suicide and then say, I'm kidding. I am kidding. But if I had to read super chats, I would go on a Dean Withers style hunger strike. No food. My mental health is really messed up, y'all. I'm going to be honest. Should I even be live streaming, y'all? It's going to be me. That guy's so fun. We got to get him on our side. We got to get him on our... He was on our side. He was saying nigga. He was supporting Andrew Tate. Somewhere along the way, woman turned him into a giant pussy. We got to bring him back to our side. We got to take Parker's white knight. We got to bring him down to our level. We got to take Libtard's white knight. We got to bring him down to our level. Isn't it such a shame that all the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white people are cucking out like that? People say to me, you're Mexican. Go back to Mexico. Your parents are illegal. Go eat a burrito. You know, people say that kind of stuff to me. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for the Aryan to save us. I am waiting for Jesse McCartney or, Justin Bieber. Where's the Aryan? Where's it? What is this? Some kind of Mexican squad? I'm all you got. What is this? Some kind of Hispanic squad? I'm all you got. Mexicans, Albanians, Haitians, Jews. This is who you got. The Irish. This is who you got. All the white people are voting for Kamala Harris. And not even because they hate Israel. They're voting for Kamala because they want gay people to get married and to abort their own kids. Anyway, so that's going to be the debate for me. I think people are saying call Zerka. Look, I got to schedule a call with Zerka. I told them, hey, let's do any time, any weekday, like before 6. They didn't get back to me. So I'll schedule it with Zerka later. I got to go, okay? I got to eat something. So I'm going to wrap up the stream. Remember, I do a show every night. If you're just joining me for the debate, I do a show every night, Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock Central Time. It's called America First. I'll be live again tomorrow, 8 o'clock Central. So tune in, smash the follow button, leave a comment, leave a like on the video. I do a monologue if you watch that debate and you're like, I'm kind of tired of hearing black people say, like, if you're tired of that and you just want to hear the good parts, I do a monologue every weekday, 8 o'clock on Rumble right here. Tune in tomorrow. I'll be back. Subscribe. It's a good show. But yeah, that's really all I got for you. We're going to wrap it up. Great debate. Yeah, well, mid-debate, but good stream. Thanks to Aiden Ross. Thanks, Sneeko. We appreciate the guys at Kick. Oh, maybe I'll do my first stream there next week. What if I did my first stream there next week? Maybe I'll do gaming. If I do a Kick stream, I'm not going to do politics. I don't want to step on their toes. I don't want to get them in trouble. If I do a stream on Kick, I'm going to keep it PG. We're going to do Minecraft. We'll do a video game. We'll do something, commentary stream. We'll do something different. We'll switch it up. Maybe we'll bring on a guest. So if they can hook me up with my channel, I'll do Kick. But yeah, I think that's all of it, okay? That's it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. If you sent super chats, I'll read them tomorrow. Buy your hats. I don't have the black one. I had to use it. Camo, blue, America First hats. They're made in America. Free shipping. Fuentes.store, AmericaFirstStore.net. If you like what I have to say, if you want to advertise that you are against the occupation of America, get the official hat. MAGA hat, these days, it means you're a bitch for Israel. This hat means you're an American patriot. You reject the false dichotomy. You're America first. Fuentes.store. Free shipping, made in America, high quality. American flag on the side. All right. That's all the shilling for tonight. So that's all I got for you. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I will see you tomorrow. Remember to subscribe, like, follow, leave a comment, all that. And have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock Central. Until then, have a great rest of your evening.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. It's going to be only America first. America first. The American people will come first once again.
you